All right, so the Mustang FOXBODY. Basically, we took this thing to the Ford National Carlisle 2023, which was the beginning of June. That was Friday and Saturday. When I got home Saturday, I kind of just parked this thing in here, and then Sunday when I walked out, I ended up with a puddle of coolant. All right, so I knew right away. I didn't reseal the water pump on this or the timing cover, man, in probably 10 years or more, maybe 10 or 12 as a guess. So everything had come off really nice and easy. I didn't break any of the bolts. And what I actually had found was the back plate that's actually steel on the back of the water pumps. If you've ever had any of these apart, I had some rough spots, and you could see a spot where it just wasn't, it wasn't really here, but there was a spot where you could see where it wasn't sealed anymore. So I had a cheaper pump, and I went to try to put it on. It ended up being the wrong rotation. It was actually new in the box. It was a Gates pump. And, well, needless to say, I felt the need to order one of these. I did actually have one of these years ago, and it wouldn't fit with the aftermarket balancer that I was trying to run when I had a supercharger on the car. So I got this one here ordered, and it came this past Thursday. Like I said, that was the beginning of June. We're in the beginning of July now. So it's been sitting a month with nothing in it. So we got both of our gaskets here. They give you an instruction sheet on how to install this. But this is the one that I opted to order. It is the cast aluminum one that is coated in black. There should be some, yep. We've got the brass fittings here to install into the pump instead of the press-in ones that are in the factory pumps. It's just something that makes it a little bit better because sometimes those pressed-in ones will come out. I've never really seen that problem, but it can happen. And on top of that, I ordered the ARP water pump and timing bolt cover kit. All right, now I'm not doing the timing cover right now. I did pull these out, so I did have them coated with some anti-season stuff when I reinstalled them to see if that worked. Now here's all the ones that I'm not using at this immediate time and moment. So I'm just going to keep them in the box. They're going to go with my Mustang stuff. I'm going to take these fittings here. I'm going to get them out of the bag. I have some really nice thread tape. I'll show you what that is. I've had good luck with it. I've been using it on a lot of stuff and some of the other cars that I put together with the turbo. And, you know, haven't had any problems with it leaking, whether it's been fuel, oil, or coolant. So I'm going to get them seated, and then I'll work on showing you what the next step of this is, and I'll show you what I used. All right, so this is what I used. It's actually a lot thicker than like white thread sealant. Seems to work really good. Got them down in there. Just checking out the front of this thing. Kind of sucks. There's actually a spot where it's coating's off there. It says here, let's go over our instructions. All right, goes over that it's a heavy duty pump. It's reverse rotation for the standard 86 to 9350 engines. All right, now it says installation. Remove the two. Installation is the same for original equipment water pumps. Okay, it says remove these two screws, which are actually like an Allen head bolt here, and apply RTV silicone to the gasket before installation. Reassemble backing plate and install on engine using RTV silicone. All right, now black RTV. All right, so this goes like that. We already know. So they give you two different gaskets. I'm sure that this one here is for like 94, 95s, I believe. Timing cover is a little different on there. So make sure that this is positioned the right way. I already know this because I did this. The writing is going to go toward me, and it covers everything up. So if we lift this way, it's going to go on the back of this pump cover, just like that. Now, like I said, the only thing I'm not a fan of is this still has the same type of a steel here. I don't have the stock pump to do a side-by-side comparison. Actually, just got rid of it. It was the original Ford pump I was using on here. Let's see here. All right, so they are 3/16. All right, let's get these out. That's what it looks like inside. Here is the back side of your cover. They have the gasket here like this. Okay. There's lays on there. It looks like there might have been some Loctite on there, a little bit of blue Loctite. But I can tell you right now, this is definitely a different looking impeller in comparison to the stock. More beefy. Let's see here. I got a flashlight. Trying to get a little bit of a. You can get some light in behind here. You can see it more here with this camera. Kind of see. It's pretty tight. Turn it just a little bit more. I don't know. I figured just try to get it in there so you can see what the impeller looks like on the back side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this RTV and I'm just going to like try to get this nice and thin all the way around here like this. It was always weird doing these pumps. It's kind of like the rear diffs. You just silicone it. I know they have gaskets, but most of the time you end up putting RTV on it anyway. You don't want to get too crazy. It doesn't matter if it gets inside, but you don't want like big globs. All right. Something like that. Okay. You can, if you want, stick some here. Just kind of hold the gasket in place. I don't know why they have those empty areas. I mean, it's a little cool that they did coat it on the back side here. So now we're gonna take our gasket. We're gonna lay it on here. Line up our holes just like that, and we're going to do the same thing. Kind of crazy, right? Just a nice thin coat. Okay, just like that. We'll lift our plate that goes in between here. Like I said, weird design, but Ford used this for a long time. I'm gonna get the plate on, tighten them two up, and then basically all I'm gonna do on this one is right here where this gasket is on both sides here. I'll probably go around that hole a little bit, but I'm gonna do both sides on this, and then I'm gonna lay it on here. All right. And then I'll do the other side of this, and then when I'm sticking the pump on with our nice new ARP bolts, like I said, that are already coated with anti-seize. All right, every single one of them nice and coated. And what we'll do is I'll probably refer myself here, that way I can look. So like this longest one here on their ARP bolt is the H. So if you look here, H goes right here. So I'll get that one, and then I'll probably grab D. D is one of these right there. So that's D. So those are the two that I'm going to use. And I'll probably get those started first. I'll get all of them started before I start tightening anything down. Silicone typically, you know what I mean, if you do this, you kind of want to do it kind of quick. Usually you got about 15 minutes or so, and at the end of 15 minutes, if you're just putting this on here, you do kind of want this to squeeze down so that it evens it out and it holds everything in place. When you're doing the water pump, other things are a little different. If I was doing my intake manifold, I'll do my front and rear, and I usually like to let them sit up till it just starts to skin on the top, and then I set my intake on. All right, I'm gonna get this thing together. We're gonna set this pump on. We have everything set in here on the Edelbrock pump, and I'm just gonna work on getting these tightened up here slowly. It is kind of nice. I don't have to remove a fan assembly to get down in here, so I saved a bunch of time, honestly. I mean, it is kind of cool. It does clean in. Engine bay up a little bit, and the black pump looks pretty sweet. So those are 10s. I'm not sure what the other ones are, obviously. Now, picking up a wrench, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all bolted down. Alright, not too bad for fit. Everything went right in. You can tell the hose is now a little too long for this top one. You can see the bend in it. Man, if I had the thermostat housing and stuff off, I'd probably, maybe I'll trim that down when I go to change out my intake manifold. I'll get in there and I'll trim that a little bit shorter so that it's back some, and then I'll make it a little bit shorter so I can slide it down on and actually get a better 90-degree for flow there for the heater core hose. Man, so far I like it. It's like I was looking down through here and it looked like it was off just a little bit, but everything seems to be pretty lined up. I have my brand new belt that only has a couple hundred miles to reinstall here, and we're gonna dump some coolant in this, get it fired up, bring it up to temp, check everything out. All right, Edelbrock pump, it's on there, not leaking. We're working on coming up to temp. New thing. Don't like to snap together too good. All right, I got this little handy dandy thing here. 127, 130. So we have a 180 thermostat in here. Sometimes my gauge likes to work, sometimes it don't. I think it's kind of moody. This side. Alright, I'm gonna go for a drive. I'm sure I probably won't have any leaks. Just need to see what it's gonna do. I'll let it cool off and then I'll top off my coolant. I'm just topping it off with water because it was antifreeze that was in here, and I'm just gonna go from there. So there is the part number. for the water pump that I got. I think that's the part number there for the bolt kit, the ARP bolt kit. Like I said, this thing worked out pretty good, and it shows you everything. I don't know, like, I wish I had to replace my timing cover, but if anybody's done them, those gaskets suck. So I'm going for a cruise. We'll see you in the next video.